Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into something called the 6 disciplines of strategic thinking. Now, I know that might sound a little academic, but trust me, it's a skill that can feel super elusive, yet it's absolutely crucial for anyone trying to lead in the world we live in today. So let's just ask the question straight up. Why is leading today so much harder than it used to be? I mean, does it just feel that way? Well, you're not imagining it. The speed of everything, the nonstop flood of information, the constant disruptions, it's a real challenge. And it doesn't matter if you're a team lead or the CEO of a massive company. We're all feeling. To really get a handle on this, we need a map, a way to make sense of this new wild landscape. And that map has a name, the SUVA framework. Now, don't worry, it's more than just another business acronym. It's a really powerful way to understand the chaos we're all trying to navigate. Okay, so what does CUVA actually stand for? It's complexity, uncertainty, volatility, and ambiguity. And yeah, they all sound pretty daunting, right? But here's the key insight. They're all connected. In fact, a lot of the time, that feeling of volatility, uncertainty, and ambiguity, it all comes from that first one, complexity. The idea is if you can just get your head around the complexity, all the interconnected pieces of the puzzle, you'll be in a way better spot to handle everything else that gets thrown at you. And that right there, that gets to the heart of the matter. You know, the world might feel like this giant SUVA minefield, but here's the good news. Strategic thinking isn't about having a magic crystal ball or solving every single problem at once. No. It's a skill you can learn. It's about cutting through all that noise, seeing how things really work underneath, and then, this is the important part, focusing your energy only on what actually makes a difference. Okay, but this isn't just some abstract theory, right? Let's make it real. To see just how powerful this kind of thinking is, we're going to look at an incredible, real-world example. The transformation of Atrium Health under its CEO, a guy named Gene Woods. So picture this. It's 2016, and Gene Woods takes over as CEO of an $8 billion hospital system. It's successful, doing fine. Most people would have just coasted, kept things running as they were, but not Woods. He saw something different. He saw the bigger picture. And he kicked off this massive strategic transformation. And get this, by 2022, he had engineered a merger that created one of the biggest nonprofit health systems in the entire country. Let's just let that sink in. In 6 years, he took an $8 billion company and helped turn it into a $27 billion national powerhouse. That's not just growth. That is the jaw-dropping power of having a clear strategic vision and then executing on it perfectly.
So what was his secret? How did he pull this off? It all started with his mindset. He actually said, "Where others saw success, I saw a tremendous vulnerability." And that, right there, is the core of what it means to be a strategic thinker. It's not about reacting to what's happening today. It's about looking ahead, seeing the patterns, seeing the risks that nobody else is even looking for.
All right, so you're probably thinking, great for him, but how can I learn to think like that? Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into. We're going to break this whole thing down into 6 core disciplines. Think of it like a roadmap that you can actually follow to build this skill for yourself. The easiest way to think about these 6 disciplines is to split them into 2 halves. It's super simple. First you see, and then you do. The first 3 are all about recognizing and prioritizing. Basically, looking at the world and figuring out what's really important. And the next 3, they're about mobilizing and enacting, which is just a fancy way of saying, okay, now let's turn those brilliant insights into real action. So let's start with seeing the board. First up is pattern recognition. This is all about finding that one important signal in all the noise of our crazy SUVA world. Then you've got systems analysis. This is like building a little model of the situation in your head so you can see how if you push here, something else moves over there. And finally, there's mental agility. This is your superpower to zoom out to the 50,000-foot view 1 minute and then zoom right back into the nitty-gritty details the next. Okay, now for part 2, the doing. Because let's be honest, a great idea is totally useless if you can't make it happen. So you need structured problem solving. This makes sure your team isn't just busy being busy, but is actually solving the right problem. Then there's visioning. This is your ability to paint a picture of the future that's so awesome, so compelling, that everybody just wants to jump in and help you build it. And last but not least, political savvy. Yeah, we're talking about those organizational street smarts you need to build support and actually get things done. So this brings us to the million-dollar question, right? The one we've all been wondering. Are these amazing strategic thinkers just born that way? Or is this something that can be learned? Well, I've got good news for you. The answer is incredibly empowering. It really boils down to this simple formula. Your strategic thinking capacity, let's call it your STC, is a mix of three things: your natural endowment, your experience, and your dedication to exercise. Now look, you can't change your endowment. That's the hand you were dealt. Some people just naturally get a bit of a head start. But the other two, experience and exercise, those are 100% in your control. And that means your potential to grow as a strategic thinker is, well, it's huge. So really, if you only take one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this. Take heart, because strategic thinking is an ability you can develop. It doesn't matter where you are right now. It really doesn't. Every single one of us can learn to do it better. All it takes is a little bit of intention and practice. Okay, so how do you actually start exercising that strategic brain of yours? Well, the source material lays out 5 really practical habits. Think of it like a workout plan. First, immerse yourself. Spend real soak time, just steeping yourself in a topic to really understand it. Second, practice that level shifting we talked about. Make it a habit to go from that huge 50,000-foot view right down to the tiny details and then back up again. Third, play games. No, seriously. Chess, business simulations, things that train your brain to think about moves and countermoves. Fourth, and this is a big one, actively seek feedback. Get out of your own head and ask for input. And finally, fifth, take the time to reflect. Just pause and assess your own thinking. Figure out where you can get better. So there you have it. We've laid out the map for this crazy world, we've broken down the 6 disciplines, and we've even given you a workout plan. The only question left is the one that really matters, the one for you. What's your next strategic move?